let's celebrate the Feast of the Nativity of the Theotokos with a very silly snack that didn't quite turn out right, but it's okay. The feast happened anyway.
Hi everyone, welcome back to PNP Kids. I'm Korea Destiny of Ascetic Life of Motherhood, and I'm glad you're joining us today. We're going to talk about the first great feast of the liturgical year in the Orthodox Church, and it just so happens to be a feast of Mary, the Nativity of the Theotokos, her birthday, okay? So if you don't know much about this story, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her life. We've got a little fun activity that we're going to try to do today. Secret. Doesn't turn out very good, but that's okay because we learn that sometimes when we try new things, they don't always turn out, truthfully. I will be a good example for that. I have a special icon here of the most holy Theotokos. That's what we refer to her as. She's Christ's mother, and she actually has 4 major feasts in the liturgical year. So 4 out of the 12. So a very large portion of our feasts are pertaining to her and her life. And so the first one is her nativity. And so in the nativity, we learn from the hymns of the church and their iconography, we learn that she has parents, Joachim and Anna, but they are her parents, and in their old age, they conceived Mary. So it was a miracle, truly, that they were able to have a child. And when they gave birth to Mary, they loved her so dearly and they took good care of her. And when she was 3 years old, her parents promised the Lord that they would offer her back to the Lord. And so she went and lived in the temple until she came of age, and she was placed under the care of Saint Joseph. That's Christ's earthly father. And so this is a little bit of her story of what we know of who she was before she became the mother of God, the Theotokos, the God bearer. Okay, so for her feast day. Now, in our house, we love celebrating our name days and birthdays. We just find any excuse to have a celebration, but especially the major feasts, we really like to do something special. So last year we made cupcakes with blue frosting and star sprinkles because she is the Queen of Heaven. So we made them blue for the Theotokos and put some stars on them, and they turned out great. This year I thought, you know what? I want to make cake pops. My kids have been begging to make these. Let's give it a try. So we did. We filmed making cake pops, and I will admit they turned out absolutely dreadful. They were terrible. I don't know how they were so difficult. So now I'm gonna show you a little bit of our failure cake pop, but they still tasted really good. We were able to dip them in white chocolate and put some sprinkles on them. So if you give cake pops a try, don't follow this tutorial. Go buy some cake pops and celebrate her feast, because we're celebrating her feast on Sunday.
Now, this was a total fail. I saw this idea on Pinterest. I knew it was probably too good to be true, but again, my kids have been asking me for cake pops, so I thought we'd give it a try. So I already had this cake pop mold because I bought it for a previous time. We didn't end up using it. So you basically are filling up both sides of this mold with the blended up cake that's, frosting and cake, and you're putting in these cake pop sticks, which I'm not sure is actually a good idea, but we did it anyway. And you stick this in the freezer. Let's see how it goes. You kind of already know. It does not go well. We went with a candy coating white chocolate, added some food coloring, mixed it up. This seemed to be okay. I wished that the coating was a little bit thinner, so that ended up being a fail here. We stuck these in there for about 15 minutes according to the recipe, and when they came out, I was like, oh no, they're a little soft, but we'll see. Dipped it in there, it immediately fell apart, disintegrated in the white chocolate, couldn't get it out. Okay, we already realized this is a fail. So Stuck it back in the freezer, said a little prayer. Oh, look, a little bit thicker. However, I had used up most of the blue frosting for the failed one and it was all mixed up. So I had a tiny bit left. I ended up just throwing on some frosting on there. By this point, my kids were playing with their friends, the neighbors, and so I just threw these together for them. I already knew this was a fail, but it's okay because they looked they looked terrible. They tasted pretty good. So once we got some frosting on there, I did a couple more just so that the kids could try them since they were helping with this portion. Now, anyone who knows me in real life knows I am not a great baker, so this is really on brand for me. But it actually was for my own humility. It was very good. These are a lot harder to make than I realized. And so I ended up just throwing on some sprinkles. And I let my kids give them a try. Tasty. They were just happy they got to try them because at one point we were worried that we weren't even going to taste them because we thought they were a total fail. My son is sensing me. Thank you. Thank you for that, my dear. Thank you. Lesson today is not everything turns out how you expect. Mama, do you want to kiss Most Holy Theotokos? Yes. Mwah. Kiss with your mouth. Oh. Mama. You kiss? Yes, good boy. Everything was okay because guess what? They tasted really good and we really enjoyed it. My kids said they actually taste better than the other cake pops that they've tried because they were fresh. So anyway, don't copy me. Go to the store, buy some cake pops, or better yet, make cupcakes, make a cake for the Theotokos. Whatever you do, we can remember our Most Holy Theotokos. In fact, this feast day falls on a Sunday. So the best way to celebrate any feast is by attending the Divine Liturgy. So make sure that you make it a priority to go to church on Sunday, perhaps read about the life of the Theotokos. In this book here, you can learn about Saints Joachim and Anna, her parents, and how it was really a miracle that she was born because her parents were of old age when she was born. And so we celebrate the Feast of the Nativity, the Theotokos' birthday. I always love honoring birthdays, especially as an American. Celebrating birthdays is always a big tradition for us. So how much more special is our Most Holy Theotokos' birthday? Of course we want to celebrate. And I know whatever you do on this day, she's going to be looking down on you and smiling and feeling so overjoyed that we get to celebrate our mother today. So whatever you do, may it be blessed. Even if it looks totally messy, kids don't care what they look like. They just love the time that you guys spent together, making something special together. It does not matter if it looks absolutely terrible. It'll taste good. So may the Lord bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful feast.